I'm titling this one, Modern Warfare 2 is complete trash. And before I get into this one, it's bad objectively. It doesn't matter if people are enjoying it. I'm having little bits of fun here and there playing it, but there is so much wrong with this game. It's objectively a bad title. The more I play of this game, the more I'm getting frustrated with it. I'm jumping into games and there's just lag after lag after lag. The servers seem to be getting worse and worse the longer this game is out. They've now created a Trello board and we'll be going through some of the things that are on that board. But not only that, I upgraded to the Vault Edition, so overall I've spent £100 on this game. And the reason I did that is because I heard that there were double XP tokens and double weapon XP tokens to be claimed. And then I had a look, and apparently the only way to get your hands on those, it was to pre-order or purchase the Vault Edition of the game through one of the older Call of Duty titles. I don't have a single double weapon XP or double XP token at all, so there's no way for me to progress through the game any faster. And it's an absolute grind getting stuff done because I'm currently trying to work on a top 5 overpowered weapons video, just based on weapons that I like, and trying to get them leveled up, playing Invasion, which is the best method. It's just an absolute struggle, and I'll explain that as we get further into the video, because it's not just the lag that's putting me off being able to level up these weapons. And just quickly, before we do get into all of this, if you are interested in getting this game regardless of what I say, because my video is based on my opinions, then there is a link in the description that will take you through the CD keys. They're fast, they're cheap, they're reliable, and by purchasing any game using the link, you will also be directly supporting the channel at the same time. Also, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated. And if I take a look at the reviews on Steam, they are sitting at the time of me recording, 34,810 reviews, 55% positive. So it's mixed, but it's almost into the negative side of the reviews. And looking at what some people are saying, there are more bad maps than there are good. The game promotes camping tactics, mount, and overall slower and dumbed down gameplay. This is not what CoD is about, and I totally agree with that. Call of Duty is supposed to be a fast-paced first-person shooter, and it just doesn't feel like that at all. They've also said in this review there's a horrendous progression system. I totally agree. And they're saying the Pika's advantage is real this time around, and it is really frustrating. If someone sat on a rooftop in Invasion, you're on the ground, they're going to be able to pop your head off without you even seeing them. Someone else said the spawns are horrible and the gun leveling system is bad, and I totally agree with that. Even playing Invasion, big open maps, I spawn in just to be sniped in the head instantly, and that's when I get into a game that's not lagging. There are settings being reset. There's more and more problems popping up. On their Twitter, they have said the following changes are now live after an update. They've temporarily disabled the bipod mount, so now that's the bipod mount disabled. That's the attachment tuning disabled. They've had to fix a care package bug in Hardpoint, and they fixed a bug for missing kill streaks or perks whilst you're in match. So the perk system isn't even working. Kill streaks aren't even working. They've had issues when it comes to drivers and stuff on the PC. They've got the false bans going around. As I've said, the spawns are terrible. There are people just camping galore. This seems to be one of the slowest paced Call of Duty games I've ever personally played. There's more crashing happening. I actually had it where I went into a game, and I play on the Series X, so this isn't PC related. I went into a match, and as soon as I loaded in, I was trying to play Invasion. I got this pop-up, come on my screen, and it said system error, and I pressed A to continue, and it took me back to the main menu. So I just got kicked out of the game for absolutely no reason. But then we look at the Trello board. They are aware of some players experiencing crashes when they're partied up. There's a few things they fixed, but now ping is temporarily disabled whilst they fix a bug affecting it. So the ping system's not working, the kill streaks aren't working, the perks aren't working. They're aware of a visual bug affecting some grass textures on Sarif Bay. They've got Xbox users experiencing a bug where their player icon on the minimap disappears after they die and get revived. Some players may experience a bug where suppressed weapons only have sound for the using player. And then Ground War map Sena, however you say that, currently has a bug where the APC can respawn in a location that renders it stuck and immovable. In the Gunsmith, they are also investigating an issue some players are experiencing with weapon camo progression, so the camos aren't working properly as well. Then there's issues in single player, there's issues in special ops. There are issues, bugs, problems all over this game. And it wouldn't be as much of a problem as what I'm making it out to be if the game didn't cost people between £70 and £100. The game wasn't worked on for 3 years. They didn't have about 3,000 developers working on the game. And they didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars creating the game. The amount of money they've put into it, the amount of time they've had to make it, this game is an absolute shambles. For what they've spent, for what they've done, it is complete trash. Whether people want to disagree with that or not, that's just how this game is. There is little bits of good here and there. It's not all bad, but the bad is really bad. It's not just small issues that we're looking at. And then my experience on Invasion, I spawn in, I run to the left or I run to the right trying to get to the choppers, and there are people just sitting on rooftops with snipers, which is how the game should be played. People are going to play however they want. But the problem is, you die in Invasion to a sniper after you've run for about 5 minutes. You respawn at the back of the map and you've got to do the run all over again. So you run the middle lane where you can't really be seen as much from the rooftops. And you've got people just running around like crazy. They kill you, but as they kill you, like that's not the problem. That's how the game plays again. But as they kill you, you go back to your spawn. And what happens? They're already there. They're ready to kill you. The spawn system is absolute dog shit in this game, no matter what mode you are playing. I've had it happen in multiple different game modes. And then when it comes to crossplay, because I'm not a fan of consoles playing against PC players, I feel there's an advantage over having a mouse and keyboard over controller, and some people are going to be like, yeah, but there's aim assist on controller. But I still feel you get that just better maneuverability using a mouse and keyboard. So trying to turn crossplay off, they have no system in the game for it whatsoever. So you have to go through your Xbox settings. And then what happens if you do disable crossplay? It only works for the 6v6 multiplayer modes, like your TDM, your hardpoint, and things like that. If you try doing it for Invasion, it's not going to work. You have to actually have crossplay enabled to play on that game mode. And I think there's something else that's forced crossplay as well. But there's not a single option in the game to turn it off. You have to go through your Xbox settings and disable it. Then when it comes to searching for Invasion, it just won't search for a match. And then you look at how the guns work, and you've got to use, say, a marksman rifle to unlock an optic for an AR, or you've got to use an SMG to unlock a challenge for a camo on an assault rifle. They haven't kept it to the same category. It gets frustrating because there are suppressors and stuff that you have to use different weapons to unlock. The way they've designed this game is terrible. The whole progression system is just a mess. But as I said, there's lag with it as well. There's a map they've had to disable. When you're playing multiplayer, it doesn't matter which mode you're playing, it feels like there's 4 maps in the entire game. And as we've spoken about with all the issues there are in the game, the Trello board shows barely anything that players are actually reporting. There's someone here that's also left a review on Steam. Gunplay's good and the core gameplay's solid like most CODs, but there are just so many problems. The maps suck, it won't let me equip a new calling card or basically any cosmetic. It just reverts to default over and over. The same thing happens with me. Every time I pick an emblem, I back out and it's reverted to default. I choose a calling card and it won't let me actually see my calling card. There's no combat record in this game, so you can't check anything like that out at all. But in Special Ops, don't worry, they've got a combat record, and I know that because on the Trello board it says the player cannot enter the combat record or star rewards menu. They have fixed that now. That's like the fix is live in the game. But that was an issue with the combat records, and they don't have one for multiplayer whatsoever. But this person's review carries on to say, game crashes constantly, especially in matchmaking. There are no hardcore game modes on this game. There's no gun game. Spec Ops is super buggy, lacking many game modes that have been in CoD for over a decade. It's literally just Modern Warfare 2019, but worse in almost every way. It amazes me how they have the audacity to charge $70 for a game that feels like it's still in alpha. And if I quickly take a look at the game modes that are available, you've got your quick play, you've got team deathmatch, free-for-all, domination, search and destroy headquarters, kill confirmed, hardpoint, prisoner rescue, and knockout. Other than that, you've got prisoner rescue has its own mode, you've got third-person mosh pit, you've got ground war, invasion, then private match. And that is everything you have for multiplayer in a game that's taken 3 years to develop. And that's also been developed by a lot of people. But that's one of the problems. When you have so many different studios working on a game and there are so many different people working on that title, you're going to have a lot of problems. It's expected for there to be so many problems because it's just there's so many different things to focus on. There's so many different people focusing on it. You're not going to get it right. But there are so many things that have been disabled on this game There are things that are missing from this game. As the person said in their review, there's no hardcore game modes whatsoever, and they've been in Call of Duty games for a long, long time. There are people already making petitions or trying to make petitions to remove maps from the game. The maps are horrible. Someone left a thumbs up and said the guns shoot. That's a fantastic review. Then there's one more we'll take a look at. Someone said pathetic release of a so-called AAA title, multiple bugs, constant crashes, missing features, terrible balance. I regret paying this much for such a dodgy release. Seriously, Activision, get your act together, what a joke. And that's how a lot of players feel. There's going to be a lot of players that absolutely love this game. They've spent hours and hours playing it. They're prestiged or whatever. But objectively, overall, this is a bad title, especially for Call of Duty. The thing that makes it a little bit worse is this game has to last 2 years. They're not doing a yearly cycle for Call of Duty anymore. The next Call of Duty will be 2024. So players have to put up with this stuff if they want to be involved with the Call of Duty franchise for the next 2 years. So as I said, ping system temporarily disabled. Bipod mount temporarily disabled. There's been a map that's already been removed from the game. Kill streaks aren't working, perks aren't working, the gun system's awful. There's lag in lots of matches, there's crashing, there's false bans, there's system errors. There is so much going wrong in this game. It's just becoming increasingly frustrating to carry on playing it. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to go through the stress, and then hopefully at some point soon I can get out a top 5 guns that I like using in the game. Although it seems to be taking me forever to get these weapons leveled up and get all the other guns unlocked, because I go into a match of Invasion or I go into a match of like the standard 6v6 multiplayer and everyone's just camping on rooftops and camping around corners and stuff, nowhere near the objective. They manage to find these places that are right next to where I'm going to spawn after I die, and it's just not been fun. It's an absolute slog getting through this grind. It's tedious, it's frustrating, it's boring, it's annoying. There's the odd game here or there where there's no lag, there's nowhere near as many snipers as you would typically get in a match of Invasion. And it does seem fun when that sort of stuff happens. And I am having little bits of fun here and there, but overall, objectively, this game is complete trash. And what we're going to do is leave the video there. Check out this video if you want to see other Modern Warfare 2 content on the channel. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.